Good evening, I am Tomas Guevara Calderon, and this is the channel Rewriting the Reality. Join me in the quest to expand our awareness. In today's episode number 116, I will touch again a very interesting subject, the time. In episode number 1 I explained that time is simultaneous. Our ability to manipulate time is not only true in this particular dimension, but we also do the same thing in other dimensions, because time is universal in all of the parallel dimensions and other dimensions wherein thought patterns result in objective mass, or what we call matter. In a manner of speaking, the time element adds a thickness to any physical dimension, and in this it creates the ability to be manifesting physical mass in what we term to be matter. This would be the process of introducing different elements in energy of consciousness into the thickness of the time framework, and as it is entering into the time framework, it acquires solidity and thickness in quality, and therefore is creating a physical mass. Thought does not always materialize into what we view as matter or solid objects, although many times it may be creating of solid objects in matter within physical dimensions. There are certain thought processes that do materialize into physical matter within other parallel realities or probable realities that may not objectify themselves within this particular reality that we hold our attention within, but all thought is not necessarily projected into what we think of as physical mass, into an object in matter. Although I shall also express to you that any thought process that is verbalized does acquire a physical type of reality, for there is a chemical alteration within physical dimensions that occurs in a very minute type of expression. Let me tell you about a particular experience I had. In July 2022, the 16th to be exact, I went to a casino. For about 3 months they have been announcing the giveaway of an automobile. I arrived at the casino around 4 p.m. and I have this feeling that I will be the winner. Around 5 p.m. they made the first draw for a giveaway of about $300 and I was the winner. To the lady that was seated near me I said, "This is the money to buy combustible for the car I am going to win today." In other words, I verbalized my intention. 1 hour later I was elected as the 5th participant for the final draw. Then at midnight I was the 5th to choose a key of 10 keys available to win the car. Then one by one we started to try to turn on the car's engine, for went before me, and when my turn came, I knew that the car would be mine and I won it. At the end you will see the video to prove that. Now let's continue with the story of how I did that. There is what we may term within the scientific community as a chemical reaction that occurs as we verbalize thought, and this creates an actual solidity in our atmosphere, so to speak, in like manner to the element of our air, which holds somewhat of a solidity, for it does materialize into actual molecules which are physical. Therefore also, our verbalized thought patterns change from what we may view as electrical energy patterns into physical formations chemically, which are expressed within your physical dimension. Now, within certain thought processes of choices that follow our desire, we do create these probabilities in alternate realities or probable realities. Therefore, they are expressed, and they are manifest. This is not to say that we may not be also creating of this same physical element within our own physical reality, for we may be creating of different aspects of the same thought process within several different alternate or parallel realities. In this, I am expressing to you that as we may be creating of some element physically within another dimension or an alternate reality, this is not to say that this shall be the only area within consciousness that it may be expressed and created. We may be creating a very similar reality within this particular dimension. As I have expressed previously, as we express these thought processes verbally, we also lend energy to their physical creation within this dimension. This is not to say that we may not be creating of any element physically within this dimension without verbalizing our intention and desire in this area, but we lend much more energy as we do verbalize these thought processes, for we begin the probabilities into an actual physical manifestation, for the very language that we express within creates a physical response, and physical elements are being created. Let me offer you an example. As we verbally express, there is a different interaction within the interaction of time than the expression of a thought process. Now, let me offer you an example in visual terms that you may be understanding. Within consciousness, visualize your thoughts as merely waves within your air. They are within the time framework within your physical focus, meaning your life. Therefore, time is affecting them, and they are affecting time to an extent, but they are as airwaves that may be to your viewing invisible and floating within your air, as your air may be the expression of the time element itself. Now, introducing into this air, we may view the expression of verbalization as a chemical reaction within our air. In this, we may look to the reaction within the air as a sort of condensation, in a manner of speaking, to which certain molecules may be collecting together, as we are instructing the links of consciousness to be coming together to form an actual solid object, in a very similar manner to molecules forming together to form water droplets that may become rain or mist. There becomes a thickness of these molecules that we may physically view. Apart from each other, we may not necessarily view the actual physical form of water. Within our air, as the molecules are more farther spread from each other, we may feel the effect of what we term to be humidity, but we do not see within our air the actual droplets of water. In like manner, thought processes are in existence within our physical consciousness within physical dimensions, but they are not necessarily acquiring physical form and thickness within our dimension, for they have not been directed in this manner by us. The links of consciousness are not being directed to be moving together to form an actual solid object or form. In the expression verbally within our language, we lend more energy to the creation of solidity within our time element. We create a physical interaction with our time framework and the energy expressed of our desire and our thought process. Therefore, our impulses of our thoughts move into a physical interaction with our time framework, and this is creating of a new direction with the links of consciousness, moving those links of consciousness, which are the thought processes, into more of a thickness. It is quite similar to the action of the humidity within our air, that we feel but we do not see, moving into a collectiveness of the molecules coming together and bonding themselves into actual water droplets, becoming an actual physical form that we may in actuality view physically and we may touch, and this interacts with all of our physical senses, for it now holds an element of solidity. This is the action of our time element upon the creation of instruction of links of consciousness to be moving together to form physical mass. Our intention and our intent are very affecting of what we are creating within physical mass. It is also very affecting in what we are creating in other expressions, but within the creation of physical matter, this is quite influential. For there are situations that we may be expressing or want to be creating of a certain physical element within matter, and we may hold a thought process in this direction, and we may also express verbally in this direction that we are wishing to be creating a certain physical element. But if this element is not in agreement and harmony with our intent within our physical focus, we may not be actualizing into this particular physical area of consciousness the actual materialization of this physical matter or object. We shall be materializing this element within an alternate or parallel dimension, for we have created the line of probabilities and therefore have actualized the probabilities, and in this we may be creating of actual physical mass within an alternate reality. But this is not to say that we may always be physically creating of every element that we want to be creating within this particular physical focus if it is not in alignment with our intent. Now, I may also express to you that we may be experimenting with many different creations within physical focus that may not entirely be in alignment with our intent within this physical focus, and we may be successful in creating physical matter, but the quality of that physical object shall be different from the quality of the object that we may want to be creating, for it is not following within alignment to our intent. Therefore, our intent and also our intention, for these are different words expressing different definitions, But in these two words within our language, if our intent and our intention within creating of any physical object is in alignment and harmony, then we shall be creating of our physical desire, which is also different from a want, and this shall be expressed physically within our dimension. Now let me explain. Our intent is our overall direction, so to speak, within the line of probabilities that we create within any given physical focus, or within any focus of essence, physical or non-physical. The intent is the direction of probabilities and the potential of its creation. It is the direction of our desire within any particular focus of essence. You can call it purpose if you want. Our intention is more immediate. Our intention moves more in the direction of our physically focused wants. Therefore, our intention is the momentary movement in any given situation, and our ideas and our feelings regarding any of these given areas, which are affecting the creation of our probabilities, but they are different from our intent. Our intent is the overall direction of our desire within a given focus. I hope this video will help you to create what you want. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel.